Ladies and gentlemen, we live in an era saturated with knowledge, overflowing with information, and yet deeply estranged from the self. We scroll through infinite feeds, speak endlessly of identity, and yet flee from the most vital truth of all. We are strangers to our own souls. I said once, and I say again, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This is not poetry. It is a psychological fact. Your fate is not written in the stars. It is buried in your shadow. Let us speak plainly. The unconscious is not merely a repository of repressed memories or forgotten dreams. It is the architect of your reactions, the composer of your impulses, the voice behind your compulsions. And unless you confront it, unless you see it, you are not living a life. You are living a reaction. In my time, the 20th century, amidst war, revolution, and industrial upheaval, I saw how entire nations were swept into unconscious currents, herd instincts, archetypal projections, collective delusions. Men who thought themselves rational were possessed by ideologies. Civilizations worshipped their shadows and called it patriotism. The Holocaust, world wars, dictatorships. These were not random eruptions of evil. They were the logical end of a humanity disconnected from its inner life, a humanity that failed to face its shadow, a humanity that saw the enemy always as the other, never as itself. This is what happens when the unconscious is ignored. It explodes outward. What is not integrated becomes projected. What is not healed becomes repeated. And now I turn my gaze upon your time. How this applies today. You live in the age of personalization, but not personhood. You curate identities but avoid individuation. You declare who you are, but not why you are. You shout into the void, but seldom listen to the whisper within. Social media is the new mirror, and yet it reflects only what you hope to see. Anxiety is your epidemic. Narcissism your fashion. Loneliness your inheritance. The unconscious has not disappeared. It has evolved. It hides behind your politics, your consumption, your outrage, your certainty. It directs your habits, shapes your biases, distorts your relationships, and still, you call it destiny, bad luck, or someone else's fault. But I tell you, it is none of these. It is the shadow behind your eyes, waiting to be seen. My advice for today. If you wish to reclaim your life from the hands of fate, you must begin with the inner work. Here is my counsel. Begin the inward journey. Turn off the noise. Close the screen. Sit with yourself not as a critic, but as an archaeologist of your own psyche. Ask not what you should do, but who you truly are. Face your shadow without fear. You will not find only monsters. You will find your potential, your wounded child, your forgotten dreams. The shadow is not evil, it is power unclaimed. Question your projections. Whom do you hate? Whom do you admire irrationally? These may be fragments of yourself asking to be acknowledged. What you see in others often reveals what you deny in yourself. Integrate, don't eliminate. The goal is not perfection, but wholeness. You are not here to be flawless. You are here to be authentic, to become a unified self, both light and dark. Seek meaning, not comfort. Your soul does not grow in comfort. It grows in truth, in confrontation, in the sacred discomfort of self-discovery, of final reflection. Fate is the name we give to the life we do not understand. But you are not condemned to ignorance. You are endowed with consciousness, not to judge the world, but to transform it, starting with yourself. So I implore you, make the unconscious conscious. Know your patterns. Trace your wounds. Explore your depths. For only then can you stop calling your suffering fate and start calling it freedom.